What's up, guys? Welcome to one of our projects for intermediate level bash scripting. We have 6 examples here. First one is going to be a line count script. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one. So this first script is simply going to count the number of lines in an input file, and it's going to do so by iterating over all lines of a file using a while loop, performing a read option in the loop header. While there's a line to process, the loop body will be executed in this case simply by increasing a counter by, and we've seen that format before, counter plus plus, okay? Additionally, the current line is written into a file whose name is specified by the variable file by echoing the value of the variable line and redirecting the standard output of the variable to that variable file. The latter is not needed for line count, of course, but to demonstrate how to check for success of an operation. The special variable $$ will contain the return code from the previous command redirected to echo. So guys, remember in Linux the return code of 0 is going to mean successful. Anything else means that it was not successful. Another important issue to consider in this script is that the integer variable over which iteration is performed should always count down so that the analysis can find a bound. This might require some restructuring of the code, as in the following script where an explicit counter z is introduced for this purpose. Okay, so guys, basically what this is saying is the script is going to perform a word count by using a loop. It's going to take the input from a user and store it into the script, and it's going to be run through that word count command, and it's going to echo out to us how many lines are on what the last line is, okay? So let's go and get started on the script. Here it is here, but I'm going to go ahead and type it out for you guys line by line so you can kind of see what's going on. So let's head to the VirtualBox. We're going to go ahead and, let me move this over a little bit. There we go. We're going to name this line count.sh, okay? Just like with every single script, we always start with the hash pling, or the shebang. We're going to use bash as the interpreter here. Okay. First thing is we're going to do is we're going to run that exec command, and we're going to redirect standard input to 10. Okay. And what we're going to do next is we're going to use exec command again. What we're going to do is we're going to redirect the first argument, so $1 to exec. Okay. And then we're going to make a variable, and it's going to be called in, and it's going to be equal to that first argument. Okay. Then we're going to make it into another variable. We're going to name it file. We're going to set that equal to current underscore line .txt. Okay. .txt. Close parentheses. Oops, and I forgot the parentheses at the beginning there. There we go. Current line .txt. We're going to use the let command. We're going to say count equals 0. Okay. And guys, that let command is just saying that we're assigning the variable count equal to 0. We're going to start our while loop. So we're going to say while. We're going to use that read variable, which takes the user input and stores it in the variable which we're about to assign. We're going to name it line. So while line do. Okay. We're going to go ahead and use that count incrementer. So we're going to do double parentheses count plus plus, and then close double parentheses, okay? And then we're going to say echo then we're going to say the line variable, so echo the line variable, and redirect that to the file variable, okay, which in this case is this text here. Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to set up an if-then statement. So if $? Is not equal to 0, then echo error in writing to file, error to writing to file, and then the variable file, check permissions. Okay, so this is actually trying to catch it and say, hey, the permissions for this file, which is this file here, so this file, which is actually this file, might actually have some permissions are off, and that's why it's making our operation fail here. Okay, and then we're going to end this if statement with phi, which is if spelled backwards, and we're going to close our while loop. So to do that, we do done. Okay, we're going to do a couple more echo statements. The first one's going to be echo number of lines. Okay, is the count variable. We're going to do another echo. We're going to say the last line of the file is. We're actually going to use a command here, cat. We're going to cat the file variable. So we're going to use a backtick, cat, and then $, curly brace, file variable, backtick, and then close the quotation mark. Okay, the last line of the file is, we use backtick to run the cat command. We close it with the backtick, and we're doing that on the file variable. Okay, we got another echo statement here, which is expected number of lines. We're going to do backtick word count -l, and we're going to use that variable in backtick parentheses. Okay, so we're closing out our echo statement here with the parentheses, and we're closing out this backtick. Remember, backticks actually lets you run commands, so the word count command here and cat command here are actually going to be run. And then we have another exec command here. 0 greater than and 10, and then 10 greater than ampersand dash or minus. So what we're doing here is we're restoring standard in from file descriptor 10, and we're closing file descriptor 10. So it's redirected up here. We opened up file descriptor 10. We did all of this, and now we're done with it, so we're going to go ahead and close it out. Okay. And then we got one last thing to do. We're going to go ahead and right quit this file. Let's do a right quit. We got to make that file executable. So line count.sh, and we're going to go ahead and run it, and we're going to supply an argument to it, and we're going to use that book file we've been using. And then you see number of lines is 20, the last line of the file is blank, and expected number of lines is 20 book. Okay. Now guys, that last line of the file is actually blank here. Okay. So that's why that's a blank statement on there. So let me scroll up for you. As you see there, the last line of that file is actually blank, which is why it's saying that. So our script works beautifully.